What's up, idols? It's CeCe Lesson 3. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. My bad, y'all. We are finally back with this long-awaited story time. There's just been a lot going on in the last few days, but I got my new SD card. If you saw the live yesterday, I kind of explained that situation. I can now film again. So before we begin, there are some things she wants me to explain to you guys so you have more context to the story and the situation. She's an American girl and she's from Washington State. She's Afro-Latina and she wants to be called Mirabel. We don't talk about Bruno. So Mirabel is a remote worker located currently in South Korea. But before she was in South Korea, she left the US and she was working remotely from Spain. She dated in the States, she dated in Spain, and now that she's living in Korea, she's gonna date in Korea as well. So Mirabel wrote this email specifically looking for advice from you guys about her current dating situation. Right now, she's dating a Korean guy who only dates foreign women. So basically, in this story time, she wants to explain and describe the current situation and have you guys let her know if this is okay, if this is healthy, if it's red flags, if she should cut it and just
run.
Also, this is the YouTube version, but on my Patreon, there's going to be an uncensored version of this story because there's a spicy bit that she included, some details, and I cannot put that on YouTube. Specifically, there was one thing that happened while they were doing the deed that made her feel like maybe she's a fetish, and that's when she really started to get the red flags. So click the link below in the description if you want to join my Patreon to gain access to story times that are too spicy for YouTube, as well as some couple vlogs with me and my boyfriend. We haven't done one since Oslo, but there are a few there for my birthday, Oslo, the Tokyo version. So like there's a few if you guys want to check it out and see how we get on together. If you like these stories, if you like my content, please let me know by liking the video, engage with the video, leave a comment below, subscribe if you haven't already, because that is like the best indicator to let me know this is what you guys want to see. So let's start Mirabel's story. Because Mirabel is a remote worker, she works on US hours. That often means she's very tired during the day, especially when she needs to catch up, especially when there's a meeting scheduled when she should be asleep. So because of this, she's kind of a night owl and she typically prefers to go out at night because that's when she has her free time. Because of this, it's kind of hard for her to meet someone genuinely, someone who's looking for something a little more serious, because you know, when you suggest meeting with someone at night, there are other implications of what that might mean. It comes off a bit more suggestive. A bit more noche. And she would explain that like after she matched with someone on a dating profile, like, listen, I'm mostly free during the evening and the nights, but that does not mean I am only looking for nightly activities. It just means that's when I'm free. So I hope you understand that even if we meet at night, it does not mean anything's gonna be clapping. And she said even with all this explanation, it was pretty hard for her to find someone who wasn't like pervy about what they were hoping they would do the night that they met. But she did eventually meet this one lucky lad, and we're gonna call him Juny for the duration of this story because he was proper, he was respectful, he actually wanted to just hang out with her. So Juny and Mirabel agreed to meet up for dinner and to get to know each other. And the dinner went great, the conversation was good, she liked him, he liked her. Things were so good, in fact, they agreed to meet the very next day. And this was only able to happen because miraculously, one of her meetings got canceled. So she had her first free day in a very long time. This was the first time she got to spend time with another human during the daytime since she moved to Korea. So she was happy to be spending it with such a nice, seemingly cool guy. So for this first daytime outing, they decided to go to one of those cute little food markets by Banpo Bridge. It's like a festival they have every year or so. And one thing that's nice is everybody is out. And she said they enjoyed watching the sunset together, sitting by Han River, watching the fountain show at the Banpo Bridge, and it was like a perfect, nice little date. And the conversation they had this night is when she first started to notice some things might be off about his motives for dating someone like her. At these markets, right, there's like a lot of couples out. It's like a couple thing. I mean, you could go by yourself, you can go with friends, but it's like especially popular with couples. So they're sitting there watching Han River, watching the fountain, watching the twilight sky set in. While they're, you know, looking around, suddenly Juny starts making some remarks about these Korean couples. He started to say things like, oh, this poor guy, he doesn't realize the girl he's with is only using him. You can tell she's obsessed with her appearance. They're never gonna leave Korea. They're born here and they'll die here. He must be so miserable with a woman like her.
Why would a fellow want a girl like her, a frail and fluffy beauty?
Mirabel's like, what the fuck is happening? Like, what are you doing? She's like, is she your ex? Are they former friends? Like, why do you hate them so much? He's like, no, but this is how Korean women think. This is how they all are. They only use the man and they expect the world from him. They expect to be spoiled like a princess. And these guys are dumb enough to fall for it. So Mirabel asked him, why do you feel this way? Like, who hurt you? He said he got tired of dating his usual type because he spends all his money, all his energy, all his emotions for nothing in the end, and it all has the same ending. So one day he decided to start dating tourists and foreigners only. And he said this is much better with him. They're much more compatible, similar mind. And she was confused, like, where is he going with this? And that's when she started to say, like, are you only dating me because I'm a foreigner? So as she's thinking about this, he goes back to people watching with the public commentary. He's like, she's so fake. Look at all that surgery. You can just tell she's a Gangnam girl. And I bet she made that man pay for her surgery. He should learn English and escape Korea. It's the only way. So then Mirabel finally said, so when you said you stopped dating your normal type, what do you prefer to date now? And he says, if they're not Korean, then they are my type. So I date anyone who's not Korean.
He needs some milk.
So she didn't know what to say to that. Part of her is like, okay, I mean, that's kind of cool. I guess he's open-minded. And not in like the pervy Korean meaning of the phrase open-minded, but like someone who is open and interested in other cultures, other people outside of the background, the bubble he grew up in. So part of her is like, that's a good sign, right? But on the other hand, the fact that this Korean guy hates Korean people so much is concerning. So then Juny asks her, so yeah, enough about me, what's your type? She says, a guy who's respectful. I like a guy who takes care of himself, both physically and his appearance. Eats the right stuff, you know, smart, funny, pretty simple, right? So then Juny feels validated because he's like, haha, see, not once did you say you prefer a man with money. You didn't even bring up money. You don't care how much money I make. You didn't once say you want a rich man. This is all Korean women want, a rich man.
My mom said to me, find someone who can give you everything. And I said, Mom, I already have everything. I am a rich man. I am a rich man. I am a rich man. I am a rich man.
So Mirabel's like, does he think some foreign women don't also seek out men with money? So this is when she explained one of her best friend's dating rules. It's a 6 rule or something. They have to be 6 foot tall minimum and make 6 figures a year minimum. And she didn't want to like confirm his bias. So she said, you know, just because I'm not looking for someone with money doesn't mean that other foreign women aren't interested in men with money. So then, you know, she kind of thinks, I'm helping him learn. I'm helping him understand that not all Korean women are the same and not all foreign women are the same. And if you don't like a Korean woman who seeks money, then you shouldn't like a foreign woman because some of them also seek money. But then he justifies it because he says, well, actually, that makes sense that a foreign woman, an American woman would seek a man with money because life in America is much more expensive. And you know what? I learned a lot this week, given what happened in Utah, about how people will justify anything to confirm their bias, whatever double standard there may be. So it is interesting to, anyway, somehow to Juny, a Korean woman seeking money from a man is bad, but an American woman seeking money from a man is understandable and makes sense. That's okay, that's allowed. Mirabel's like, listen, if a girl is seeking a man with money, as long as she's honest and upfront about that, what's the problem? Korean or not Korean, you know? And he kind of had a long pause, changed the subject because there's no real rebuttal. So they move on from the topic for now. They go to see you and they get some soju and now they're drinking by the river. It's a romantic chill night. And she really enjoyed spending a full day out in Korea, in Seoul, because she hadn't gotten to do this so far. Like she's taken some walks and she's gone out by herself, but she never got to hang out with someone during the day. So this was really fun for her. And you know, aside from the weird Korean racial topics he keeps bringing up, she felt like she had a really good time with him. You know, he was still super respectful. He wasn't like a perv. He was funny. And aside from his ignorant views, she's like, he's a really smart guy. So she still was enjoying her time with him. So a few days later, they met for coffee one evening and talked for hours. Another great conversation. She really enjoyed spending time with him. So that's why she's kind of going back and forth. Like there are some red flags, but other than that, you know, things are great. So we jump ahead another week. Mirabel's on the phone with Juny. It's late at night. One of her work meetings just finished and she's alone in her apartment. She's listening to music to relax after, you know, a stressful day at work, and she's on the phone with him. And then you hear the suit. Look, that's how I know I'm old. Millennials and older, we do this when we talk about the phone. I think younger people do this because all phones are like flat now. Anyway, she's listening to the soothing voice of this man she deeply admires and really likes, and it's soothing because it's late at night. She also said because it's late, his voice was like raspier and more deep, and she was like, oh, getting that quiver. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. So she initiated some sexy talk. Playfully, at first, she asked him what he was wearing, and he laughed, but she's like, no, seriously, what are you wearing? He said, oh, just pajama bottoms, but I don't have a shirt on right now because it's hot. So she asked to see a picture of him shirtless, and he sent it right over like a proper gent. So seeing him like that made her more in the mood. For the YouTube version, he came over. They had an enjoyable night together, or morning because it was after 2 a.m. While they were doing the deed, though, he started to make some more questionable remarks about Korean women versus foreign women. Like he talked about how her butt and her body is so much better, how foreigners are better at the deed than Korean women are. And some things he said she felt were like borderline racist and stereotypical, and it made her uncomfortable. So after their enjoyable night together with some questionable remarks, they had breakfast. Even though it was like 12:30, they had a lie-in because it was an exhausting, passionate night. So they had fruit, banana milk, and she made pancakes for them. But pretty much every nice thing she did for him, he would compare it to Korean women, saying only elder Korean women take care of their man. Young Korean women don't do anything for you. And she started to notice how this happened every time she did something nice for him. Like even the night before when she gave him a back massage. And this was starting to annoy her. So as they ate, she finally decided to say something. She said, listen, how would you feel if I started to compare you to every American man, every Spanish man I ever dated? If I started comparing your size to them, both height and me, your fashion sense, your income, how smart you are, how good you smell. And she says it would be nice to not constantly be compared to Korean women all the time because it's annoying and it's frequent. So then he says he's sorry, he just really likes her. He said, quote, I just feel so true about why I prefer foreign girls. And then he says he only gets along with foreign women. But when she asked him how he would feel about being compared to other men she's dated or other men she's been around, other men she's experienced, his response was an interesting one. I'm just going to read it because I personally don't understand what it means either. He said it's not the same because she still dates Korean men, American men, and Spanish men, but he only dates foreigners.
What the hell is even that?
I literally don't know what that means. And she said her guess is as good as mine. Neither of us know what the fuck he means by that. So anyway, as of now, they are still dating and kind of getting to know each other. Like all this stuff like just went down. But Mirabel wants to know if this is a healthy situation or not. She doesn't know if she should end it or see it through. Like maybe he'll get better over time with like having such a weird need to compare. Who knows? Maybe it'll get even worse. So she wrote this in hoping that you guys would go in the comments, give some advice, some perspective. And she's going to be reading these. So please be nice. Please be respectful. Don't be mean, okay? We are so grateful for people who send in these stories. By the way, if you too want to send in your story, dating in Korea as a foreigner, email me at CeCe3@yahoo.com. It doesn't necessarily have to be dating. You know, it could just be your experience in Korea as a foreigner, some recent revelation you've had, what your journey was like, how much you like it, how much you don't, things like that. We're all about perspective and getting takes, like firsthand accounts from people. So comment below what you would do if you were Mirabel and any advice you may have for her. Here's my take. If the reason for your interracial dating reflects self-hate, that's a you problem. That's a problem from within. If you feel the need to put down your own people to justify why you like other people, that's a red flag. In my opinion, because you have people who like to use or like to try to use who they date as like a reflection of their status or as them improving their status, their social status, their standing, whatever. And I am well aware that different people have different types, different things attract different people, different preferences. That is your freedom. That is your right. Some people are only attracted to people with blonde hair. Some people are only attracted to people with like big butts, curly hair, melanated skin, brown eyes, green eyes, blue eyes. We all have different things that we find ourselves attracted to. But when you feel the need to constantly bring up why you don't like this group of people, unprovoked, unprompted, that's a problem. That's weird, in my opinion. This video kind of sums up exactly how I feel about the topic. And I know not all black men feel like this, but enough of them do that I'm noticing a trend.
Black girls. If we don't like black girls, what is wrong with that? Like,
nothing. At this point, I will drive y'all over to the white women my goddamn self. Because y'all can't never just get there on your own. The white women are here. You motherfuckers are here. It's a straight line, but y'all always got a detour and harass black women. Why? So look, I drive a Jeep Compass, okay? It's not that big, but some of y'all can ride on the roof. I ain't gonna remind y'all what color your mama is. I'm not gonna try to convince y'all to love yourselves, nothing. Y'all ain't even gotta give me gas money, okay? I will drop y'all right off to them white women if it means that y'all will shut the f*** telling us about it. We done already cracked the code. We know it's not actually about y'all liking white women. Because if it was, y'all wouldn't need to bring up black women at all. But the fact is, a lot of y'all are only interested in dating white women because you think you're proving a point. A point to white men that you have some sort of equity to them. A point to black women that you're upgrading, or I don't know, whatever the point is. Well, all y'all really have to do is just date whoever will tolerate you and unpack your internalized anti-blackness before you pass it down to your little mixed son, Caden. That's all.
I mean, I get it. It's all about context. You can be attracted to certain mindsets, for example. Like, say, take Juny, for example. He grew up in Korea, born and raised in Korea. Maybe he would be more attracted to someone who's a little more open-minded, less conservative, less, wants to think outside their bubble. And that would be one thing. Like, that's fine. That's your choice. But when you feel like his digs just started to feel a little personal, like it started to feel like something bad happened to him personally. So he used that to justify how everyone around him is. And that just seems a little toxic. You can prefer someone who thinks more freely, and that could be one reason why you find yourself attracted to someone not from the same background as you. Not to say that just because you come from a conservative background means you are destined to be a conservative, or I don't want to say closed-minded, because that has a pejorative meaning. I hope you guys get what I'm saying. But if you date a certain type of person to prove a point or to make a statement, then that's when I think it's wrong, because it's not about love anymore. It's not about who you're attracted to. It's about trying to say something and prove a point. But that's just me. This is just my opinion, my takes. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments below. Mirabel, thank you so much for writing into us this one. I've been meaning to put this up like last week, a few days ago. Stuff keeps happening, but it's up now. If you guys want more dating and career story times like this, check out the playlist. It's about to pop up on the end screen. We have so many. Some of my own dating and career story times, some that have also come in from viewers, so check them out. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Annyeong!